You can look at this wireless Bluetooth and 2.4G mouse. You can see it's very unique. It's got a cool internal structure to it. It has a built-in battery. Let's take a look. USB-C to USB-A. There's some instructions. So the model is T900. There it is. Very shiny, very cool looking. Open top cover, take out receiver. Oh. Looks like a magnetic top cover. That's cool. Oh yeah, and this is on there through with the magnet. That's really neat. LED and sensor on the bottom. So I guess you can swap through that. And then we've got the on-off switch, a material to make it scroll smoothly. There's also the USB-C port on the top. That seems like a good spot. My motherboard does have Bluetooth, so I'm not sure I'll need that, but I can try it with the thing first. DPI is the resolution of the mouse itself. We've got a scroll wheel. It's pretty smooth. It has some clicks to it. Everything is very shiny on this mouse. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. And then here's the two buttons. Yeah, these are quiet. I like that. It doesn't go in there super far. It's kind of a little bit of extra, but it's holding in there. This USB cable looks bent. 50% chance of getting that in properly the first time. So that lights up. Okay, this looks like the charging indicator. So it's got a fair amount of charge from the factory. So it has 4 different DPI modes, 800, 1200, 1600, and 2400. This one's not bad, but it does scrape a little bit somehow. So I need that Bluetooth dongle. And I'll put this in the computer. I'm gonna turn this on. Okay, it instantly connect. I think it just connected. Okay, the DPI thing is working. So the different colors. Got red, green, blue, and purple. I think purple was the highest resolution. Oh yeah. That is very accurate. You know, that little dongle thing works decently well, and also I have my computer set up so it's not even facing this direction, and it seems fine. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we can go to purple. Again, this is the highest resolution. What I can also do is start up a game. Feels nice. I'm barely moving my hand. I can switch to, so red should be the lowest. That works too. I'm sure you could adjust things in Windows itself to better deal with the higher resolution. So if you want to run at higher resolution, but still have more accuracy to, you know, not have to do tiny movements. Let's go to green. Yeah. Feels nice. Clearly different mice make a big difference on this glass surface. It does have a feature to swap between computers apparently. I don't think I'm gonna get into that. I think it looks cool. I like the ability to look inside. I could also connect it to the computer with a cable and see if that feels any different. I have it connected to the computer. Let's see if that makes a difference. Does it not work through the... Let me turn it off and turn it on. So if you're looking for a super high response rate wired connection, this appears to not be the mouse to do it. Unless I'm missing something. To me, that's a pretty big flaw of this, if you can't just use it wired. Let me see if I can get Bluetooth working. And I'm gonna switch this to Bluetooth 1. So I would assume this is the mouse, and I have it set on the thing to Bluetooth 1. And I have this little dongle removed. Oh, it just disappeared. Yeah, the computer's over there, it's not any further away. I don't have the antenna attached to the computer for Wi-Fi. I would assume it uses the same antenna. There could be something I'm not doing properly. All right, that should be good. I attached the antenna for the motherboard. And I get the, okay. So maybe the antenna does matter. So far, the dongle that comes with it seems better, but Bluetooth is working at the moment. And I've got a cable attached to it for charging. One here. All right. So this should be the highest resolution mode. Very slight movements. That feels decent. Yeah, this also kind of demonstrates, though, why I'm not super fond of wireless. Because when I initially moved the mouse, it was a little jumpy. But so far it feels okay. Now I could position things a little better so that the antenna for my motherboard is within line of sight. Because right now it kind of is, but there's a screen that basically part of the computer and part of the screen are blocking line of sight between the mouse and the antenna. I like the size, it's pretty compact. You can take the top off, it uses magnets, and then you can put the dongle in here. I don't know if I got a good view of that, but that's magnetic as well. And then a good place to store it. That's super cool. After using this mouse for a while, I do like it, but there are some things that I dislike. The main thing is that with these buttons, they're kind of creaky sounding. That's hard to explain. It's just a personal preference thing that does bother me, and to the degree that I don't necessarily want to use it, because I do want a as silent as possible type of mouse. And it is pretty quiet to click, but it, again, makes like a creaking noise when I press the buttons. So that's pretty much the worst thing for me about this mouse, but it is relatively functional. The other downside is that I don't think it's possible to communicate with the computer through the USB port. That's just for charging as far as I can tell. So you can't go wired when you want. You just have to use some sort of wireless communication, which it does have the Bluetooth, and it does have its built-in wireless functionality with the little dongle. I'd say use the dongle with this because it's quicker, it's easier, and it appears to be more reliable than Bluetooth. I did get Bluetooth working with my computer that has built-in Bluetooth, but I had to attach the antenna to the computer for it to connect properly. So there appears to be some distance limitations with that. I don't know if it would be the mouse or the computer. This button here on the top is at least defaulted to in Windows. You press that and it's going to minimize all of the running applications. And then on the bottom here, that is for the DPI modes. So you can cycle through those. Another downside for me, I put a little piece of gaffer tape on this light on the bottom. I don't know if it's possible to change it, but when you are not moving the mouse, it lights up. But when you are moving the mouse, it stops. The light turns off. And that's, again, something that's distracting. And I don't understand the point. In general, it's pretty cool, interesting mouse. I like the clear aesthetic with being able to see stuff inside. It has a built-in battery, which is pretty convenient. Who knows how long that'll last, but that's fine. The main things for me, again, are the light that turns off and on constantly and the creaky buttons. So I don't think I'll be using this day to day for those reasons. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Scott of Tech, I suppose. Thanks.